Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. I'm just going to go ahead and finish up Mark chapter 11 today. I'm going to start at verse 12 and finish the chapter out at verse 33. And if you enjoy my content, please give it a like. And if you want to see as soon as I upload a video, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you. The next day, as they were leaving Bethany, Jesus was hungry. Seeing in the distance a fig tree in leaf, he went to find out if it had any fruit. When he reached it, he found nothing but leaves, because it was not the season for figs. Then he said to the tree, "May no one ever eat fruit from you again." And his disciples heard him say it. On reaching Jerusalem, Jesus entered the temple courts and began driving out those who were buying and selling there. He overturned the tables of the money changers and the benches of those selling doves, and would not allow anyone to carry merchandise through the temple courts. And as he taught them, he said, "Is it not written, 'My house will be called a house of prayer for all nations,' but you have made it a den of robbers." The chief priests and the teachers of the law heard this and began looking for a way to kill him, for they feared him, because the whole crowd was amazed at his teaching. When evening came, Jesus and his disciples went out of the city. In the morning, as they went along, they saw the fig tree withered from the roots. Peter remembered and said to Jesus, "Rabbi, look, the fig tree you cursed has withered." "Have faith in God," Jesus answered. "Truly I tell you, if anyone says to this mountain, 'Go, throw yourself into the sea,' and does not doubt in their heart, but believes that what they say will happen, it will be done for them. Therefore, I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. And when you stand praying, if you hold anything against anyone, forgive them, so that your Father in heaven may forgive you your sins." They arrived again in Jerusalem. While Jesus was walking in the temple courts, the chief priests, the teachers of the law, and the elders came to him. "By what authority are you doing these things?" they asked. "Who gave you authority to do this?" Jesus replied, "I will ask you one question. Answer me, and I will tell you by what authority I am doing these things. John's baptism, was it from heaven or of human origin? Tell me." They discussed it among themselves and said, "If we say from heaven, he will ask, 'Then why didn't you believe him?' But if we say of human origin..." So they answered Jesus, "We don't know." Jesus said, "Neither will I tell you by what authority I am doing these things." So from verses 13 through 14, why was Jesus angry at the tree? The problem may have been that the fig tree had leaves but no fruit, like a person who promises to do good but does not. Jesus' anger can be viewed as a vivid object lesson. Fig trees often stood for the nation of Israel. So the story of the unproductive fig tree and the incident here both convey the same lesson. Israel will be judged for its spiritual unfruitfulness unless it repents and acknowledges Jesus as the true Messiah. Why did John place this temple cleansing at the beginning of Jesus' ministry, while Mark placed it at the end? All the Gospels record this event, but the first three Gospels seem at odds with John's chronological order. Some suggest Jesus cleansed the temple twice, although others say the controversy stirred by his actions would have ensured that the incident was not repeated. Some say John was less concerned about the accuracy of the chronological order and more interested in portraying Jesus as the Messiah. How had the temple become a den of robbers? Merchants were selling sacrificial animals and exchanging currency at exorbitant prices. By turning the court of the Gentiles into a shopping mall, they prevented Gentiles from using this part of the temple as God had intended for prayer. Can faith move mountains? The context of this saying is one of judgment. Mark placed the cleansing of the temple between the cursing and the withering of the fig tree to indicate that it was enacted parable on the judgment God would bring on the temple. The demonstrative this and this mountain suggests that Jesus was pointing to a specific place. Some say that the place was the Temple Mount, and that it probably represented the sacrificial system that would no longer be valid after Jesus' resurrection. Faith would be the only way to become right with God. Others say that place was the Mount of Olives. At Jesus' return, he will descend from heaven and split the mountain in two. Was Jesus trying to trick the religious leaders? No. He was trying to reveal their hypocrisy. They already knew that Jesus' authority came from God and that his message agreed with John the Baptist's. Refusing to acknowledge that John's authority came from God showed that they were interested not in the truth, but only in trapping Jesus, so he refused to answer their question. God bless you guys.